What is the biological reason why absence makes the heart grow fonder? Let's talk about it today on this episode of Christian Date Coach. What's up, everybody? My name is Dr. Phoenix Singh. It is a pleasure to be able to have you here with me today. It's a real blessing on this episode of Christian Date Coach. If you enjoy our content, we would love to have you as a subscriber. Please make sure to hit that bell to be able to make sure that you get updates every time that we post new original content. You can follow us down here at these social media accounts as well. And per usual, if you have a topic that you would like us to address on this channel, please feel free to comment below and let us know. And if you enjoyed the video, let us know. It really helps us out a lot with the YouTube algorithm. Also, feel free to share this on your own social media accounts. So let's jump right in. Today we're going to be having a brief discussion about the biological reason, the evolutionary reason, why it is that, this so-called saying of absence makes the heart grow fonder. So why exactly is that? I remember years ago, I was in a long-term relationship with someone who we met when I was overseas. And of course, I've lived in 6 countries, so I was overseas a lot, living in these different countries on 3 different continents. So it was a lot of moving around there, especially in my 20s. And what happened was I was in this relationship and, deeply in love. And what happened for me was that, every time that we would, be together for, a few weeks and these things at a time, or even a few months at a time, it was just fantastic. And then, either I would have to leave, she would have to leave, whatever it would be. But the next time that we saw each other, the attraction seemed almost like tenfold, right? And the anticipation of being able to see each other was something that, kind of just ramped up the excitement until we actually were able to see one another. And so what I wanted to chat about today is kind of why is that? So often it's the case that we have these feelings as human beings, and we don't know exactly why it is. And in actuality, these feelings are just a proxy. And you hear me use that word a lot on this channel, but it is a proxy for kind of these primal desires, these primal needs. Because remember that we're evolved to like hunter-gatherer times. We're not evolved to like, Apple Watches and, iPhones and these sorts of things. That's not what we are evolved to. So it's important to contextualize everything from kind of this primal perspective, and it's going to help us get to know ourselves as well as our partners significantly better, okay? So a few things to be able to mention here, right? So the first one is that the longer the amount of time that you and a partner have spent apart, the higher the odds are that you or your partner may have mated with someone else, right? Now, obviously, in contemporary Christianity, we still talk a lot about, abstinence and these sorts of things and such, right? These days, more than, almost ever in history, I would argue, abstinence is something that fewer and fewer people actually kind of hold to. For me, I was an atheist for a long time, right? And so the concept of abstinence just seemed kind of so dumb to me. I can tell you, it really did, right? But it's one of these things. There's a lot of great things about abstinence that I can talk about in another video. And I actually think, if you can keep to it, God bless you. And I can tell you that there are a lot of benefits of it. I really do genuinely believe that. And I'll go over that in another video, okay? But for this video, it's important to kind of understand that in terms of, our evolutionary roots as well, in terms of the variance of all of our kind of, just of our genome, of the Homo sapien genome, right? We are most similar to chimpanzees compared to kind of other primates, right? And so we can learn a lot from chimpanzees. And we're very different than chimpanzees in a lot of ways. But at the same time, it doesn't mean that we can't learn something, right, from kind of observing chimpanzees, etc., right? So again, like I said, the longer the amount of time that we spent apart, the higher the odds that, you or your partner may have mated with somebody else, right? So what that means, obviously, is that, we've got these 2 primal functions of survival and replication. And so what we're talking about here really is replication and the propagation of your genetic code, of your genetic pattern, right? And basically passing that on being something that is a biological imperative that has been placed in us, right? From, the beginning of time, arguably, right? So the way that this manifests is it manifests itself in different ways, kind of when you see your partner again after a very long period of time, right? So things, for example, like, experiencing a higher sex drive, whether or not you actually consummate that is something totally different, but you're still going to experience a higher sex drive. You're going to be more easily aroused. You're going to think that you're more attractive, not just the other person, right? And you're going to have the perception, more so then than ever, you're going to believe that they want to have sex with you. All of these things naturally occur. The neuroscience literature, is really quite conclusive on all four of these, right? Higher sex drive, more easily aroused, thinking that you're more attractive, and believing that they want to have sex with you, right? But you're also more likely to engage in this thing called mate guarding. Okay, and so this is like if you look at other primates, for example, right? There are things like, the male is going to want to have sex as soon as he sees his partner, right? And, usually people talk about like, man, like when I see you, I'm going to jump you, right? Which means that like, we have this feeling of, you just want to rip your partner's clothes off, right? Especially if you're in that passionate love phase. So remember, in other episodes of the channel, we talk about the difference between passionate and companionate love, and the graph or whatever. If you watch those episodes of passion and love going up or whatever, coming down, and then staying relatively stable over the lifetime, relative to companionate love, which starts low or whatever and grows like a slow burning flame over time. Right? So especially if you're in passionate love, you're going to experience kind of this very strong, passionate feeling, right? These fireworks feelings, right? And the idea here is that, again, if the odds are that your partner that has been, especially if you're a guy, right, that the woman that, you're with has maybe been with someone else, then the idea here is that your sperm is going to have to compete against a hypothetical lover, whether or not there is an actual other lover or not. And of course, it's very unlikely, especially if you're in a committed relationship, right? Still, the idea, because this is all proxy, right? So this passion that you're feeling, right, is essentially this, evolutionary proxy. And again, the idea here is that the sperm has to compete against a hypothetical lover, right? So, and there's certain things that result from that. For example, when you take a look at it, men's sperm count can double, and the sperm can become significantly, the gametes can become significantly more motile, right? Meaning that they move significantly more and significantly more effectively at the same time to be able to get to the egg, to be able to fertilize it before any other sperm, all right? In addition, what you see from studies is that men end up thrusting, right, significantly harder and significantly deeper, okay? And interestingly, I don't know how they've done this study. It actually disturbs me that they have this statistic, okay? But the effect of this, right, of this thrusting harder and deeper has been found to be able to remove up to 80% of rival sperm, right, which may already be inside of the female mate. And so all of this to me, again, it's fascinating that we have this kind of research, right? And it may seem like we're breaking down this very romantic concept of absence makes the heart grow fonder into something that is almost like very base, as it were, right? Because we're getting so primal. But again, it's because the concept of romanticism, etc., is a very new construct, right? It's only a few hundred years old. And, Homo sapiens have been around for, a long time, right? So we've had time not only to biologically evolve, but also to socially evolve over that period of time. In any case, so that's why absence makes the heart grow fonder. All right, folks, thank you so much for joining me today. As always, so wonderful to have you here with me. Again, please do like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit that bell so you get notifications when we post new content. Feel free to share this video on your own social media accounts, as well as to share with your congregation or otherwise maybe some friends of yours who you think might be interested or might benefit from the knowledge. At the same time, if you'd be interested in either one-on-one coaching or group-based coaching, feel free to contact me via the website below. Same thing if you would be interested in having me come and speak at your place of worship. It would be a real blessing to do that with you. In the meanwhile, thank you for joining me, and don't forget to get out there, take chances, and be your best self. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you enjoyed that episode and you'd like to see more original content, then please do click on one of the links right here. I hope to see you in the next one.